Hi, everybody. Tony Marcolini. Welcome to the podcast. It may interest you to know.
You have Natasha Lyonne, you have like Yael Stone, you have all of these, all these beautiful, wonderful female actresses, and we're all in a prison uniform, pretty much all of us. You got Laverne Cox, Uzo Aduba wandering around.
Laura Prepon.
Laura Prepon. Oh my God, she directed one of the episodes I was in. It was like, whoa, she's amazing.
Yeah, at one point I was kind of on the front of the space station as it's, hurtling through space where I couldn't really see anything except the Earth in front of me. I couldn't see like the structure of the space station too well. Kind of felt like that guy Jack, the Leo DiCaprio character on the Titanic, on the King of the World.
Every staff writer's on the set going like this. What the hell is going on? Jerry Paris comes up to us and goes, he's a genius, he's a genius, he's a genius. What the hell is going on? Don and I are going, what? We go over there. There's Robin Williams, improving the whole damn Nanu standing, and the writer's like this. He's improving the whole script.
And Michelle Pfeiffer comes in and she puts her stuff down right next to my bags. So I realized that this is not where I should be. So I went over and I grabbed my bags and I slid them down several, rows. And then I went back and I finished my coffee, and then Robert Redford walks in. Now understand, I've been in this business. I'm 4 generations in it. I've met a lot of stars, but we're talking Michelle Pfeiffer and Robert Redford, okay? So this is like, my mind is exploding.
I think the best show we ever did was The Interview, the black and white half-hour Edward R. Murrow-esque show where the camera crew comes in and he interviews each of us.
There's a guy who just walked on to the soundstage, looks a lot like John Lennon, and we're like, yeah, right. John Lennon came over to visit, kind of laughing.
People have remembered that song for years. I can go someplace today and somebody will say, Johnny Angel, and they'll sing it, and they'll say, oh, could you sing a few bars? And I say, no, I'm sorry.
Like, I didn't even want to sing it then.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
I was as good a pitcher as there was in the game.
I love those characters. I love them together. I loved what they represented. I loved how they had such different backgrounds, and yet, that common thread was a love.
Yeah, and that's a lot of how Eric and I worked on the latest Blue Oyster Cult album. Is he would say, oh, what if we did something like this? And I'd be like, that's awesome. And then I would just sort of like run with it. And he was very encouraging. And he kept me on the rails. He'd be like, whoa. That's not what Blue Oyster Cult would do. Come back.
Right across the court from Jack Nicholson, I put my binoculars on and I'm looking at Jack Nicholson and he's kind of looking at me. And so at halftime, and the Lakers were losing, by the way, which isn't good. At halftime, I scramble up and get behind him and tap him on the shoulder. I said, Jack, it's me. It's Michelangelo. And
interested in people who are willing to be themselves in a world that insists upon conformity. We tell kids to be themselves, to blaze their own path, to be an individual. But when you actually get out into the real world and you are really one of those strikingly individualistic, out of the ordinary, operating in your own lane kind of people, you're often punished for it.
Made me stand up on the show, and I got out of the chair, which nobody did before at all. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting up. So I stood up and I pretended I was smoking a cigarette, and it went wild. And then about 2 months. Are you
telling me you created that on air live?
And Francis came up to my face. Here, nose to nose. And he said, can't you say the words, Joe? Can't you just say the freaking words? But he didn't say freaking. And, he was controlling that anger, but it was bubbling. Oh, my God. And I literally felt myself shrink. And that was the last day that I drank.
So, you know what? Right now, there's someone dying in the hospital who would give anything to trade places with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah,
That's a bucket of water in the face.
right. That's a hard reset.
If I was ever to get proposed to, I would want them to play this song. And I don't know why, I just remembered it. So I played that song.
What's the song? What was the song?
The song is I've Got a Question for You. I don't know if you know that song.
I
It was on
don't.
it was on the show Scrubs, and she just always remembered it. It's something like well, baby, tonight I've got a question for you. Something like there's someday somebody's gonna ask you a question that you should say yes to once in your life. Baby, tonight I've got a question for you. And then
And his stand-in was going to come in and be my eye line, but he came up to me and said, "I'm going to stay here for you for this."
An endless couple of bad
That's
jokes.
fine.
You cannot let them get started. They will not stop, and they will not get any better.
Yeah.
But like by the end, you're wide awake. He's snoring and just jumping from the.